Hey guys, welcome back. Just got a phone call from a good customer, Brian. I've had Brian as a customer for many years. Probably, now that I think about it, he was possibly one of my first 10 customers or so. Turned out to be a long-lasting customer, and probably one of my first ones. Anyway, Brian called. He said, "Hey, do you remember that Fendt that I used to own 10 years ago or so?" On I'm like, "Yeah, the old 926." I'm like, "That's the one you traded off because it had some mechanical problems. I can't tell you what they were, but at that time, one of the other reasons he was thinking about trading it was because of it had bad tires on it. It needed 3 tires, if I remember right. The 2 tires on the back were Firestones. They had, at that time, 10 or 15% tread, and tractor was riding really bad. And I remember, I think those Firestones just became out of round because of age, and I think they just I think that's why it was riding bad. So anyway, Brian got rid of it. Long story short, the tractor sat at a dealership. They fixed the mechanical problems, and they never put tires on it, but they did rent it out quite a bit. Some people rented it and always returned it. They all said the same thing. The thing would ride really bad. So anyway, Brian, he calls, "Hey, I'm thinking about buying my old tractor back." And I was like, "Okay, He's like, "But it still needs tires." And he was saying that he wants to buy it back because he's familiar with the tractor. Didn't really hate it. It just rode bad, and had those, I think it was transmission problems. So I don't blame somebody for getting rid of a tractor because of that. And he said, it seemed like the last summer and the summer before, he never had enough drawbars on the farm. There was always something that needed to be done around the farm, and it always meant he had to unhook something. And just, he just wanted something that he could maybe put on a pack spreader, to clean the calf barn or the heifer barn, or maybe put it on the mower if he had to. He felt like he needed one more tractor. The price tag on this was right, so he informed me that he bought his old Fendt back. He said, but the tires are still a situation. So I think I'm gonna head over there. If I remember right, before he got rid of the tractor, probably a year or two before he got rid of it, we already changed the right front, and I think we put a Continental on that back then. That tire was so rotted it failed. It was a Michelin that we took off. It was bad, so we put 1 tire on it, and I think he ran that tire for a year or 2 before he traded it, and we just never got to the other 3. So Brian said, "Come over here and look at this thing, and let's have a discussion about putting tires on it." So let's take a ride. Is there a tractor in here? Oh yeah. Oh, here she is. Oh man, I haven't seen this tractor in a long time. I don't remember the color being that shade of green. It's I'm guessing it's not supposed to be that color, but yeah, this is it. Man, I haven't seen this one in a while. Still has those bald Firestones on the back. Right here's that new tire that I put on years ago. Looks like it's still over half tread. I'd say that's 70% tread. Probably a bald one here. Yep, if I remember right, those were Michelins. Probably an old multi-bib. No doubt that thing will be rotted. But this is her. Let me see if this thing will start. Let's pull it outside in the sunshine. Take some video of this. Okay. I'm in the tractor. It smells good in here. Somebody must have put some air freshener in it, but I'm not going to lie. I am not a Fendt expert. Get my flashlight out. Where's the key at on this thing? No. It's down here. Oh, there it is. Alright, let's see if she'll go. Cold start. Clutch. Oh yeah, she fired right up. Okay, see you outside. Gotta hand it to you Fendt guys. Gotta have a degree to drive these things. Takes you an hour to figure out how to make it move. So, you Fendt guys that drive them all the time, congratulations. A guy like me that drives them once in a while, not great. Okay, here's our 926. This left front we know is no good. Yeah, see this dry rot right here? It's like that all the way around the tire. See it right here? This is a 540 65 34. This tire's smoked. There ain't no life in that thing. We'll stay with the front. Right front. I put this tire on 10 years ago or so, back before Continental back before Mitas took the Continental name off. I don't see anything wrong with this tire. It's not rotted at all. Over half tread, leave her alone. Yeah, here's our Firestones. This right here is gonna be the shake in the tractor. These are the original tires. I've known this tractor since it was new, and these were on it when Brian got it. 710 7038 Firestones. You can kind of see the gap in between the sidewall and the wheel. That gap tells me that the tires are not round anymore. The sidewalls are actually pulling from the bead. These tires are gonna be the shake for sure. Good tire back in the day. Firestone DT. They're USA made. They got this banana-shaped lug, so you had good traction going forward here. Good side hill traction. They cleaned well. They were deep tread. These obviously are not, but back in the day, very popular tire. We've kind of gotten away from the curve bar. We're more straight now. But yeah, these tires are. We're gonna get these off here. Not only that, they didn't even wear. They're not even. See how they're not square on the top? They got kind of a rounded shoulder. That means he's only driving in the center, so his footprint ain't very big. One thing I wanted to check. We're just gonna tap on the side and see if we can hear if there's any fluid in there. They're hollow. I can hear an echo inside just by using the palm of my hand. Plus, it's bouncy. It's not a solid thud. Yeah, hollow. There's no fluid. No fluid in these tires. No duals. I don't see a valve stem. Probably on the inside. My guys will love me for that. Yep, tubeless. I assume this one is probably also tubeless. This is going to be pretty straightforward. Okay, I just got done doing some research at the desk. I found 5 options total to put on this Fendt. I think a couple of these are probably the obvious way to go. As with all tires, there's going to be good, better, best options. This particular customer, he's one of them guys that knows that you get what you pay for. So buying tires based on the price alone is not the best way to handle this. So we'll probably go a little bit higher up in the price range. But as you go up in price, your bang for your buck goes up. The quality is much, much higher. So out of the 5 choices that I have, I believe I've kind of narrowed it down to 2 choices. There's pros and cons to both. Simply just gotta talk to the customer, see what he says. I'm gonna head over to the tire barn. I actually have a pair of the 2 that I'm thinking. I have a pair in stock in the 42. I don't have 710 7038s in stock, but I do have 42s here. Let me go roll them together. I'll stand them side by side and show you guys. All right. This is my tire barn. Someday I'll give you a tour. But right here in the middle of the floor are the 2 options that I think will work best for this Fendt. Like I say, these are the 710 7042s. This tire on the left is the BKT AgraMax, the V Flecto. That tire is VF rated. I won't get into that now, but there's VF, IF, and just standard radials. We can do another video on that, explaining the differences. But that's a VF, that BKT on the left. The tire on the right is the Mitas USA, very popular tire, probably my best seller. I stood the tires up side by side. The Mitas does appear to be taller, but it's not squatting, just standing there free. That V-Flecto has been sitting there for probably 4 or 5 days, and it's got a little bit of a squat down there at the bottom, so I think they're identical in height, but the V-Flecto just getting a little bit of a flat spot from sitting. That'll obviously come out when we get the tires mounted. The differences between these two tires: the BKT is imported from India, but this is not their entry-level tire. This is kind of their flagship tire. I don't have an issue with that. The Mitas is a USA, very, very popular tire, used a lot in OEM applications. For a couple of things that stick out to me is the Mitas would match those front tires. That Fendt already had a Continental on it. We'd have to put a Mitas on the other side. If we put Mitas on the back, the tractor would have 4 matching tires. Some other noticeable differences: the Mitas has 73 30-seconds. That V-Flecto has 79 30-seconds, so the BKT has a little bit deeper tread. The weight of the tire, like if you were to put these tires on a bathroom scale, the Mitas weighs about 600 pounds. That V-Flecto weighs 700 pounds, so there's just more to it, just a heavier tire. The other thing that's probably notable on this would be the weight capacity. The Mitas is a 166 load rating, and 166 comes out to be about 12,000, probably just under 800, so like 12,800 pounds. I'll round up to that. That's the Mitas. The V-Flecto, the BKT, is a 181. So that means a lot more weight. That puts that tire at about 16.5 or 16.6 or so, about 8 ton or so that tire will carry, which is important considering this is a single wheel tractor. It doesn't have duals. These two tires are priced almost identical. I think there was about $60 difference between the two. I want to say that V-Flecto was about $60 more than the Mitas. So I'm thinking the Mitas would be a better match, but at the same time, I think that V-Flecto would make it definitely ride better. The footprint's going to be considerably bigger, so it'll float a little better. But obviously, this Mitas is going to match the fronts pretty good, so that's probably the way to go. But anyway, here are the two choices that I think we should go with. Let's call the customer, see what he says. Just met up with Brian, the customer. Happened to talk to him about the tires, and I was gonna drive that way. I guess I gotta go this way. And went over the pros and cons, and he told me that what means the most to him. I asked him, I said, would matching be more important than performance? And he told me that his other Fendts all have 42-inch rubber on it. This only has 38. He's like, which tire would make the tractor act more like the 42s? And it comes down to the size of the footprint. And the V-Flecto BKT, the footprint of that is going to be bigger. The technology in that tire is going to let the tire squat more, carry more weight, giving it a bigger footprint, more lugs on the ground. It's going to act kind of more like tracks. I mean, don't overthink this. They are not tracks by any means, but the footprint will be longer front to back, giving him more lugs on the ground and more pull. So after talking to him with it, he wants to put the BKT on, so that's good news. I appreciate the business. It's very cold here. He's not in a hurry. He wants his tractor up and going by spring, so it might take me a couple of weeks to get the tires put on, but we're actually gonna put 3 tires on the tractor. Talking to him, he actually didn't seem too concerned about matching that Continental on the front. So my instructions are to put something a little bit less expensive than the Mitas on the front. So we're gonna do three of the BKTs. The BKT for the front is not V-rated, it's just a standard radial. I can't remember the name of it. I'll go look it up, or I'll give you an update on that. But we're gonna put 3 BKTs on that tractor, and I'll get back to you as soon as we get them mounted. Stand by. Okay, here we are. Got the tires finally mounted for Brian's Fendt tractor. My guys did it. Actually, they did it yesterday, but I haven't had a chance to get back here and get a clip of it with it done. So parked right next to the tractor. Let's hop out and check this thing out. Okay, here it is. But side note, just now climbing out of the truck, I just broke my nail. Look at that. Man, that smarts. Well, anyway, currently, here's the weather situation. It's about 18 degrees out. Luckily, I'm in this bunk here. Otherwise, the wind would be ripping. It's probably 10-mile-an-hour winds. It's extremely cold. As you can see, everywhere you look, it's glare ice. It is definitely February out here. Absolutely miserable. I'm really pleased my guys got this tractor done. I didn't think they would. I gave them the opportunity to not do it because of the weather yesterday. But those guys are rock stars. They said, nope, let's get her done. They couldn't work on any bare concrete, so they actually did it in the lawn. Safest place to work, but here it is. We got new left front tire. This is an AgriMax Serio. I don't think I've mentioned in any of my earlier clips, but this front tire is not a VF or an IF. This is just BKT's standard radial, but definitely an upgrade. This is not their entry-level tire by any means, but they didn't offer a VF in the front size. So as far as BKT is concerned, this is the best you can buy in that size for the front. These rear tires are VF rated. The nice thing about these tires is you can carry a lot of weight with a little bit of pressure. These rear tires, they do look like they're a little soft, but that, in fact, is just how they're supposed to be. This rear tire only has 10 pounds of air in it. Probably by the time spring comes, it's going to have a little more in it than that because the air will expand. But VF tires are designed to run lower pressures and hold the same amount of weight. Very large footprint. I think this tractor turned out really good. I had asked Brian about the ride. That was kind of the main concern. Was he said the thing rode terrible with those old Firestones, and I got back a message in a text. It was a text message, thumbs up, and he did indicate that it was a lot better. Sorry about the wind. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Let me get turned facing the other way. But anyway, he says it rides a lot better. I'm gonna assume that with those old Firestones, they probably never did travel too fast down the road. But now with these 3 new tires and that one Continental on there, it's no doubt gonna be able to go much faster and ride a lot better. I'm walking very slow because of the ice. Last thing I'll mention is Brian said he was using this tractor and was very happy with the 3 tires, and he didn't like how it didn't match. So from where I stand, you can actually see the difference in these 2 front tires. Didn't take Brian long to realize that he's kind of fussy and he didn't like it. So good news for me. Brian said order that 4th tire and put it on, and we'll just try to sell this front tire. So not sure I'll get any clips of that, but before this tractor sees spring, it'll have a new tire on that right front, and I appreciate Brian buying that from me, and then I'll do my best to sell that Continental. So any Fendt guys out there need a Continental, I've got one. So here it is. Let's check this one off the list. My guys did a great job. Brian's very happy, so let's go find us another one to work on.